It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, we're gonna really talk some boxing today, okay? A lot of times, people will say, BT doesn't know anything about boxing. Kid, you need to get a job. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. But what I wanted to talk about in this video was, because I think a lot of times people get it misconstrued. They think like, oh, I only like one style of fighter. I don't like boxers who fight certain styles, which is not true. So in this video, I wanted to talk to you guys about the different styles in boxing and some of my favorite styles, and just give you examples of fighters who I like who fight in those styles. So let's just go through some of the styles we have in boxing. You have your boxers, you have your boxer punchers, you have your you have you guys who are swarmers, you have guys who are in-fighters, guys who are out-fighters. My personal favorite style in boxing, I like the box punchers. I like the guys that have the technical boxing skills, but also have the ability to hurt you with a drop of a dime. So that's why, I like someone like let's say a Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is a boxer puncher. He's someone that can fight southpaw, can fight orthodox, has the boxing skills to get on his back foot and hurt you, but he also has like the punch power to really hurt you. And as you guys can see, it's a rainy day here in South Florida. Like I'm at a friend's house right now, but yeah, like a guy like Terrence Crawford, I like his boxer puncher style. A guy like Tommy Hearns, to make an old reference, boxer puncher style. Guys like, to get to more of the pure boxing sense, guys who are more of like your long, traditional, outside boxers. One of my favorite boxers of all time is Michael Nunn. Michael Nunn was a long, rangy southpaw, was a middleweight champion in the 1980s. He's someone that if you watch the fight, you would probably say, well, that's not a guy BT will like, because you guys would see like the guys that I traditionally like on this channel are guys like, Romo Gonzalez, Triple G. I like aggressive fighters. By nature, I love to watch the aggressive fighters fight. But when someone can operate on the outside as smoothly as a Michael Nunn used to, I can always appreciate that kind of style too. You see what I'm saying? But it's not my favorite style. I prefer the boxer punchers. But when you can be like Michael Nunn, then I'll definitely watch you fight any day of the week. What the? Hold on, Jesus, it's raining out here. But yeah, so I like Michael Nunn. See, as far as like swarmers, we'll go with swarmers. One guy that's a swarmer is probably my favorite fighter of all time, and that guy is Romo Gonzalez. Now, Romo Gonzalez, he likes to crowd you, he likes to swarm you. He does it in a very intelligent way. He puts very intelligent pressure on you. But when he swarms you, the way he goes about it is why I'm a fan of him. It's a guy like him, I like. Even a guy like, let's say, Adrian Granados. Adrian Granados is a friend of mine. He fights many times as kind of a guy who's a swarmer. If you go back and you could watch the Amir Imam fight, he crowded Amir and he swarmed him, and he put that pressure on him, and eventually he got him out of there. So I enjoy that style as well. And then you have your guys who are just pure brawlers. You have your guys like Arturo Gatti, Derek Chisora, guys like that don't really have the most skills in the world, and they don't try to have the most skills in the world, but they are fighters by nature, and I enjoy that too. So when it comes to this boxing thing, I enjoy all the styles. And the thing about boxing that's unique is like, boxing is part of martial arts, and art is a form of expression. So generally speaking, like with these fighters, their style is an expression of themselves. That's how I look at each fighter's style. To go to a guy like Errol Spence. Errol Spence is a very calm but cerebral type of a fighter. Errol Spence is also someone that is analytical and astute in what he's doing in that ring, and he likes to crowd you, and he likes to kind of get to that body. So to me, Errol Spence is definitely it's funny because a lot of fighters will define themselves as boxer punchers, but Errol Spence, I define Errol Spence as more of a, he could be classified as a boxer puncher because he definitely has like boxing skills. And to call my boy Irfan, Mr. Smurf 459, who comments on my videos, he said it best. He said, Errol Spence is probably the best at boxing at just keeping his hands up. He's got really good fundamentals in terms of just keeping his hands up. They don't drop. You watch any of his fights, his hands don't drop. So that's why he's always sound when he's in the ring. So I like Errol Spence, the fact that with him, he'll jab his way on the inside, and he'll do things that boxer punchers do. But I don't classify him as a boxer puncher first. I classify him as a inside fighter, or what I like to call a juggernaut type of a fighter. Errol Spence is what I call a juggernaut fighter, meaning that he is big for the weight. he knows how to fight big for the weight, and he imposes himself on you. So he's what I define as a juggernaut fighter. So boxing has a lot of styles. I like guys like, unbeknownst to a lot of you guys, another one of my favorite fighters from back in the day, Chris Berg. A smaller heavyweight, a guy who moved up, a guy who probably could have been a cruiserweight, a light heavyweight, and probably been a really, really dominant champion at those weight classes. But he wanted to be a heavyweight. That's where the money was. And he was able to kind of emulate kind of like a Floyd, not emulate, but he fought many ways like a heavyweight Floyd Mayweather, and I even enjoy that style. I even enjoyed Mayweather's style in some fights. Like if you go back and you watch like Floyd fought before the whole controversy with the knockout or whatnot, before the in the Victor Ortiz fight, before the controversial knockout happened when Ortiz was caught looking and Floyd just decked him. Go back and watch some of the rounds in that fight. Floyd was stepping to Victor Ortiz. He was standing his ground in the pocket. He was sitting down really hard on them shots, and he actually in that fight he decided to be more of an aggressor, more of the fighter in that fight. So even Floyd in the latter stages of his career, where he really wasn't known for being a tough, or I don't want to say tough, a come forward fighter, he had instances where he was a come forward fighter, and he actually imposed himself on guys, and that kind of gets lost in the shuffle when we talk about Floyd Mayweather's career. Those like middle rounds before the whole knockout happened in the Victor Ortiz fight. So I love the sport, man. And then there's some guys who I feel like just due to weight classes, because generally speaking, if you're a smaller guy, you throw a lot of punches. If you're a bigger guy, you don't throw as many punches. But you have some guys who are able to break the mold, like a guy like a Tyson Fury. Okay, Tyson Fury, a guy at 6'9", someone that just so mobile and can get on his toes, and he can pop that jab like no tomorrow. Doesn't have the most punching power in the world. Is not an elite knockout artist, but just has elite boxing skills at the size, which it is what it is, man. And then as far as inside fighters go, we talk inside fighters. I like watching guys like Oscar De La Hoya, Mike McCallum, guys like that. Even to make a more relevant reference, maybe even a guy like Badu Jack. Badu Jack is someone who operates really well from mid-range, but he does really well for himself there on the inside as well. So just probably to put it to you guys like this, my favorite styles are as follows. Okay, my favorite styles are number 1, boxer puncher. Okay, number 1, boxer puncher. Number 2, I would definitely say a swarmer, a guy who likes to come put pressure on you and crowd you and works, which is why I like I like a guy like Sean Porter. Like Sean Porter's a guy I know a lot of people don't like, but I like Sean Porter because I like that style. So boxer punchers, a swarmer, pure boxers I like. So a guy like Michael Nunn is a guy I would classify as such. You got a guy like that. You got just your pure punchers, which is what I like too. They probably come in third, in front of pure boxers. Actually, I like punchers, which is why I like a guy like Adonis Stevenson, but he knows how to set it up. But I got like Adonis Stevenson, Sergey Kovalev, guys like that. So by nature, I tend to like the guys who come for people's heads. I like to see blood. I'm an aggressive guy by nature, so I like aggression in the ring. But I can appreciate the cerebral aspect of being a guy who likes to pick his shots from the outside and not waste as many shots. So as I've grown older and as I've begun to, as my understanding for boxing has grown over the years, and even being in the ring myself a little bit, I can appreciate guys like even Arizmendi Lara or Floyd Mayweather. That's what it is. My least favorite style probably out of all of them is like kind of like that rough house style, kind of like Andre Ward, Bernard Hopkins, where they kind of mug you and whatnot. They mug you and they hold your arms on the inside, and they have all these little tricks on the inside. Like that whole style that those guys kind of employ. I'm not really a huge fan of. Sean Porter has it, but his hands are a little bit more free as well. His hands are more free, so because his hands are free and his punch output's a little higher, it's a little more entertaining for me to watch. But I'm just giving you guys my